Okay, hello everybody. Today is Wednesday, October 10th, and the regular session for the markets just closed about 20 minutes ago. And it was a great day for the auto trader, a key day in the markets, a big sell-off, and I want to talk about that for a minute. I didn't make a video yesterday. I had some computer issues, and my program froze up. I was not able to make a video. I also want to hear your comments about if you want me to do market commentary at the beginning of the video on the state of the markets. I'd be happy to do that. I'm doing it today because it was kind of a key day, and I'm going to bring over my chart of the S&P 500 futures, and I talk about this the most because this is what I trade. I'm pretty much a one market guy. I don't trade a lot of different markets, but in any case, as you can see, a big down day, and as ominous as this big bar looks, it was only 2.5% of a drop. So you know, where the market is priced at 29.40, it's not that big in terms of percentage, but it's, as you can see, it's the biggest day. Unfortunately, NinjaTrader doesn't give me that much data, but it's the biggest down day of the year, probably, and it also broke some key levels. And if you're a trader, you should be looking at these to at least know what the key levels are, and this will also help you to figure out support and resistance. I just have three simple moving averages plotted on the chart: a 20, a 50, and the 200 moving average, and then of course the precision trend indicators are plotted on the chart. And I'm showing these because they're pretty accurate in any time frame, whether you're a day trader, a swing trader, or even a long-term investor. There's some value to these indicators giving pretty good signals. Now this level here, actually this level here, 28.62, this is the low of last month, and you can see that this is driving down towards the 200-day moving average. I suspect we'll get a bounce here. Whether this holds or not remains to be seen. If this is broken, then we'll probably see some ensuing downside action, and it could signify the reversal of the trend from down to up. But let's look at the monthly chart here. And looking at our monthly chart, so here's the low of last month, and this was broken today. So hence we had this big down move, and so the low of 2 months ago was broken as well, and it's providing some support. The volatility on the monthly chart is this little hash mark here. This is the trend indicator. So we do have a close below this bar, and we should get a signal here. So actually, if I select calculate bar close to be false, then it'll give us the signal today. So if you're plotting daily charts or monthly charts, you want to have that set to false. So here we got a sell signal on the trend indicator at 28.01. Okay, so next I wanted to bring over the Fibonacci Grid, and we basically stopped at the 38% retracement. This is the high and low for the year, so this looks like a logical spot for the market to gun for and stop, and I suspect it may test the 50% level. If it breaks here, it may go further. You know, it's impossible to predict these things. It could stay in line with this trend line, so there's a gazillion arguments that could be made either way. You know, if we drew a trend line here from this low and connected these, you know, there's a number of ways you can look at it. You can connect it like that, or you could draw another trend line that looks like this from this point here, and, you know, bring it like that. So that's why it's so hard to predict the market. There's just a lot of ways to look at things. In any case, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't like making predictions. It's super hard to predict, but the market is telling us that something of significance is going on here. Okay, a really great day for the auto trader. First up is the DAX on 150 Heikin-Ashi tick chart, and the goal on this is 25.50, so this had extreme positive slippage and finished at 39.12 for the day. Not sure exactly why, but probably that there was a huge spike in this, here. Really big action. These are huge moves in the DAX, but in any case, this spike in the market, as you can see, it drew down a little bit from some of these trades, but ultimately brought it up to its goal and beyond. So extreme positive slippage. Remember, there's always electronic risk in the markets, and sometimes a trade may be delayed based on how much volume there is or how the action is. Okay, the DAX on the Super Renko 14 tick, and this is the one with the $3,500 goal. This hit its goal in very nice looking action. There was 4 winners and 2 losers, and the losers were relatively small here. Okay, the DAX on a Super Renko 16 tick, the goal on this is $3,500, so this had $25 positive slippage. And again, pretty nice looking trades, relatively small losers compared to the winners, but very nice executions on the bars. Okay, next is the Nasdaq on the 1597 Fibonacci chart, and this did 28.35 for the day. This also, I believe, had some pretty solid positive slippage, and you can kind of see the trades here. We didn't have a negative drawdown and then came up, and although these moves don't look that large, because of the scope of the sell-off today, it resulted in pretty large moves, and this was probably really fast and furious action, and we ended up with great positive slippage. By the way, I just want to mention about goals on the Nasdaq here. Yesterday, this made an equity high of about 1,500, and then it ended up getting stopped out. So, because of volatility, my goals here are fairly aggressive, and I think it would be prudent to go with lower goals for trading 2 contracts on the Nasdaq, somewhere between 12 and 1,500 perhaps. Okay, the Nasdaq on a 20 Renko bar chart did 2,400 for the day. This has a higher time frame filter of a Super Renko 10 tick. Okay, the DAX on a 233 Fibonacci did 21.12 for the day. The goal on this is 25.50, so just shy of its goal, but quite a bit of volatility on this chart. Massive movement in the DAX as well. Okay, the crude oil on a 150 Fibonacci tick chart. Today was crude oil inventories as well, and this has a goal of 25.50, which I think is really high for this chart. But nevertheless, this did 1,600 for the day, pretty respectable. Okay, the Emini S&P on a regular 987 tick chart has a goal of 1,500. So again, really solid positive slippage here. The DAX on the Super Renko 14 tick with the $2,000 goal hit its goal and had some negative slippage. Okay, the Emini S&P on a Super Renko 4 tick with, I believe, a 6 tick Super Renko higher time frame did 1712.50 for the day, and our goal on this is 1,050. So once again, extreme positive slippage. The DAX on a 34 Fibonacci tick chart did 1550 for the day, trading 2 contracts. The crude oil on a 987 tick chart did 1600 for the day using our line break logic. Okay, the ES on a 5 Renko chart did 600 for the day, and the goal on this is 750. So it probably hit its goal, and then by the time it exited, it was down. That's what I'm guessing here. So this had some negative slippage. Both 5 Renko charts were really good yesterday as well. The crude oil on a Super Renko 8 tick did 960 using our line break logic. So a lot of movement in the crude. The trades look relatively small compared to the size of the movement today. The Emini S&P on a Super Renko 2 tick with a higher time frame of Super Renko 4 tick has a goal of 750, but did 1,200, so really high positive slippage on this chart. Here's our other Super Renko 5 tick, and I suspect that this hit its goal. This one is trading 3 contracts, and I suspect it hit its goal of 1,050 here, but there was probably some delay with all the charts I'm following that by the time it exited, it had negative slippage. I'm guessing that there was just a lot of action at this 10:30 hour. Okay, next up is the E-mini S&P on a Super Renko 4 tick. This did 712.50 for the day. Our goal is 750. Okay, next up is the Nasdaq. Forgot to show this earlier on just a regular 987 tick chart, and this just had a single trade in the middle of the chart here that resulted in 1240 for the day. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching today.